Genosha. And the first step to making that dream come true was to eradicate most humans living in the city while keeping a few others as slaves. Of course, things didn't go as planned for the iconic supervillain as the X-Men retaliated with full force and made New Genosha a failed idea, at least for the time being. Wanda's fall into madness. The chaos that was created by Magneto was only the starting point to an even greater event that would eventually claim the life of various characters. Starting with Ant-Man, who loses his life to a revived corpse-like Jack of Heart, who literally self-destructs in front of the Avengers mansion. Just a bit after the explosion, Vision arrives on the scene, crashes his ship, and releases a few Ultron clones that go on the offensive right away. The story continues with the United Nations dropping the Avengers after Iron Man threatened to kill someone at a conference. But the bad day doesn't end here, oh no. Right after the Ultron attack, the Avengers are attacked by Kree ships that came out of nowhere. This fight then claims the life of Hawkeye, who sacrifices himself to blow up the helicarrier. But the real trouble really starts when the Wasp accidentally mentions that Wanda had children in the past. Searching for answers, Wanda turns to an old friend, Agatha Harkness. In the meantime, the Avengers are trying to figure out why all of this is happening all at once. One theory is that Wanda might unconsciously be responsible for all this madness, and it turns out she actually was. When the team arrives at Agatha's place, they find Wanda, her two children, and Agatha gathered at the dinner table. Captain America tries to wake her from her delusion when she is attacked by Red Skull and soldiers who materialized out of thin air. The Scarlet Witch then goes out of control and fights against Doctor Strange, who succeeds in putting her to sleep. Everything she created through magic disappears, which reveals the corpse of Agatha, who has been dead a long while now. While the Avengers could have prevented the horrors to come, Magneto came down from the sky, taking Wanda with him, again being responsible to some extent for what will soon be known as the Decimation. But more on that later. House of M, the beginning of the end. The event that truly turned the world inside out is only the beginning of a much sinister future ahead of us. But before getting into one of the mutant world's biggest tragedies, let's explore what led to the fateful day dubbed M-Day. The story starts with Wanda giving birth to twins in a room beautifully lit by a setting sun. Around her bed are familiar faces: Vision, Cyclops, Elektra, her brother Quicksilver, her father Magneto, and Doctor Strange, who seemingly helped deliver the babies. The warm-hued scene is cut short when Professor X appears, backlit from dusk as he orders the new mother. Wanda, we talked about this. Put it back. You have no children. There's no one in this room but you and me. Clearly lost in a spell of her own making, the Scarlet Witch refuses to listen to Charles Xavier while showing him her newborn boys as proof they are real. Although Professor X denies what is happening, Wanda is not too far from the truth. They are real. She just created them by means of magic. This does not stop the telepath from pushing and insisting that she put the world back as it was before. Pressuring the witch to come back to reality, he edges her to a breaking point, and consequently her babies explode into shards of glass along with the people surrounding her. She briefly comes back to her senses as she is kneeling on the floor screaming, I killed them. I killed the Avengers. I killed my husband. After she finally calms down, Professor X is joined by Magneto himself, sporting a pajama in his trademark colors. As the founder of the X-Men wipes blood from his nose, indicating how strong Wanda's mind is, although broken, he explains how every single time Wanda slips and uses her magic-altering superpowers, she loses her grasp on reality, or to be more precise, the current reality. And not only does she need an amazing telepath like Xavier to help her return to the reality of Earth 616, but they also need to drug her in order to put her to sleep. The treatment helps in preventing her from causing further damage, a practice the X-Men labels as being inhumane. After the Genosha genocide caused by Cassandra Nova's Sentinels, the whole city was turned to rubble, and in the process left Magneto depressed and broken. As he floats in the air over the cityscape, he claims responsibility for what Wanda has done. and that is why he feels compelled to protect her, even if it means putting her under strong sleeping drugs combined with X's mind control abilities. Meanwhile, in New York City, the now old Avengers are assembling at the Avengers' new headquarters, a towering high-tech building in the middle of the city. It seems that Falcon, Wonder Man, and Miss Marvel, aka Captain Marvel, don't have a special entrance card anymore to access the building owned by Stark Industries. As the X-Avengers make their way using an elevator, other guests are on